Hello, myself Sunil Ramakrishnan. Basically, today we are going to talk about the Formula Word. Basically, you can say what Formula Word is and up to what depth level the Formula Word is going to be discussed. So this is basically 59th part. Basically, till 58 we have discussed lots of things. In last 58 we have talked about the barter system. Basically, the barter system basically which says that it was very old. It is basically very old system. In this, basically, if you gives anything to the any country, basically if you're given if you give something to the any country, basically you can say, and they give something to you, that basically there is no price value, basically nothing is allocated, nothing is there, no currency comes into picture, nothing comes into picture, the exchange of the products is there, basically you can say. So that basically relationship still basically gets maintained, basically. For example, Indian government basically have invested 1 lakh crore, basically. So instead of 1 lakh crore, basically uh, this basically you can't say into water, but basically it's equivalent to like that only, because they are giving the investment, they are giving the jobs to the Indian government, basically. So there, instead of that, basically they are not doing anything. They are not doing anything, basically you can say. Like this, basically the Dubai UAE government basically gives the job to the Indian employees, basically Indian people, basically. Like this, basically the barter system, you can say, might be taking some little bit money, but basically it's equivalent to like that, basically. Why they are not giving the job to the some other country, why they are giving the job to the Indian nationally? Because this Indian government have invested lots of things, basically, and Dubai government says that you keep investing the money also. Like this, basically, to keep the relationship maintained, basically. There are like this, basically each and every countries are basically connected with some certain you can say business level, basically you can say, and keeping the relationship with them, basically. Like this, basically here basically the it's a basically international transaction. So here the international transaction when comes into the picture, then basically currency departments comes into picture. Each and every currency department comes. Indian currency 1 lakh crore rupees has been invested to the Dubai. So basically in India, basically you have to print 1 lakh crore, because you have to keep track of each and every rupees investment, basically you can say. Because there are basically, for example, 1 rupees is there, 2 rupees is there, 5 rupees is there, 10 rupees is there, 100 rupees is there, 500 rupees is there. Like this, basically each and every rupees, each and every coins, basically each and every currency basically have honor. Repeating the word, for example, 1 rupees. So 1 rupee have one honor, basically you can, physical person is there on the name, basically you can say, on the name of that person, basically the currency is ongoing, basically you can say. So like this, basically the money are printed. Like this money is printed to 1 lakh crore rupees, and the same amount basically you have to connect with the Dubai government. Like this, Dubai government also keep track of their basically money, you can say, that they got this much money from the Indian government. Like this, basically each and every things are basically kept by the each and every government, each and every departments, basically keep the transactions information. And like this, basically whatever amount has been invested, and according to that, basically the sectors basically comes into picture, and sectors basically do their stuff, and like this the investment keeps on you. Basically, why I have discussed this in this formula, basically, because each and every user story which just now I have told, that basically bank software industry, that is basically project management plan group, basically have to study the user cases and user stories, how the basically investment is ongoing, on the base of what basically investment is going, on the which barter system basically the system is ongoing. Like this, basically each and every things has to be calculated, and according to that only, basically you can prepare the project management plan, you can prepare the project management formulas, you can prepare the each and every attributes, and each and every attributes basically are is equal to balance sheet, basically. So for example, each attributes, for example, earned value, actual cost. So basically this is attributes of the formulas, basically you can say. So each attributes, that is actual cost, that basically have certain number of balance sheet also, you can say. Earned value, they also have certain number of balance sheet basically. So this balance sheet contains each and everything basically, you can say. Like this basically each and every things are calculated, and each and every sectors are connected with each other, each and every things are connected with each other. So here basically I want to say is that if basically software industry have to grow, then basically they have to collect each and every information, they have to do the process basically of the whatever stuff basically they have done, and with the basically proof basically, you can say. Without proof basically you can't do anything. So each and every things basically require the proof basically, you can say. So that basically in future any balance sheet audit happens basically in future, that how basically you created this balance sheet of this actual cost, then basically that time basically you can submit that proof each and every documents according to that if basically audit basically happens of each and every balance sheet, that is 100% sure. But basically if anybody asks questions basically, that how this number came, how that number came, how that expense happened, how that income got, like this basically you have to sacrifice, you have to tell each and every amount detailed transaction to the government, to the audit departments basically, we can say. Like this basically each and every balance sheets are connected with each other. And if this is just simple balance sheet basically of the attributes, when basically this converts to the formula, then the balance sheet manipulation is ongoing, the balance sheet plus minus goes on basically. So it's very difficult, very tough basically, you can say, to prepare the project management plan and the project management formula. Because if this, if project management formula group basically people basically have done in this way basically, then only the 100% result is going to get to the project management industry, that is basically connected with the software industry. So if project management people grows and they do the certain level of task up to the level, then basically the software industry is going to grow. And 19 basically mostly this, like this way only basically they might have created, because this is the only way to get the enter and at least 90 percentage of the 90 percentage of the correct amount basically. So you can say correct number basically, software industry, software project manager, project management plan group basically, that are PMP group basically can get. That is basically HDLC, who created the HDLC, they can get basically. So they can get the exact number on the base, or at least basically they can get 90 percentage number. Then also that will be great for the software industry basically, so the software industry can grow, software people can grow, software people can get good salary. Like this basically each and every things are connected with each other. And like this basically each and every departments are connected with each other, each and every attributes are connected, attributes of the formulas are connected with each other. Like this each and every things are connected with each other, that also you can say. So basically here we are basically we have discussed that how basically the each and every attributes are connected with the set of balance sheet basically, which is prepared on the rules of basically, you can say, that's basically accounts rules only basically. If you are preparing, if you are into accounts, then basically accounts rules only gets applied. But that rules applicable basically happens on the base of the user stories basically. So in short, basically you can say whatever the user stories has been created for the each and every attributes basically, that has to be, and that has to be put in the accounts paper basically, you can say. And the accounts paper says that according to our rules and regulation only we prepare the entire balance sheets and entire accounts basically, things basically of the actual cost, earned value. Like this basically there are more than 1,000 attributes. Like this each and every attributes are basically connected with the balance sheets. And when this balance sheet comes, this is basically just simple basically, right? Each and every attributes balance sheet, each and every attributes balance sheet. Like this, when this balance sheet basically gets interact with each other, that is basically plus minus happens of the formula, that time it becomes more complicated basically. Because in this world basically there is no system like this basically of the which I have told just now, that is basically balance sheet minus plus happens. If you will do this, mechanism basically. If you will use this mechanism, then basically exactly at least you can at least you can basically calculate the 90 percentage of the work of the each and every attribute basically, we can say each and every project management, each and every industry basically, how much they are using the software industry. Like this basically you can calculate on the base of this. So basically there is no basically system basically available in the market which says that each and every formula's balance sheet has to be prepared basically, you can say. I have taken an example. For example, actual cost is there, earned value is there. Like this basically set of formulas are there, and the formulas basically each and every formula do the plus minus division basically. Then basically indirectly basically the plus minus happens of the balance sheet basically, and the division happens of the balance sheet basically. But like this there is no system in this world basically which do plus minus of the balance sheets basically, you can say. So like this basically this might be the one of the new project basically that might software industry have to create, that is basically plus minus of the and division of the balance sheets of the each and every attributes basically of the formula basically, which is already designed by the project management plan industry, that is basically SDLC industry who created the SDLC. So they have each and every balance sheet. According to the balance sheet, basically the formulas are prepared, and the formula says that plus minus happens if happens of the attributes, and each and every attributes basically have balance sheet, and each and every attributes when it connects to the formula, that connects to the plus minus division of the for each and every attributes, and that becomes the formula. So formula when it comes in the picture basically the plus minus of the balance sheets happen. So this system basically, I think STLC and the software industry, that is basically project management plan group basically, they don't have. So mostly they have to prepare this, and if they will prepare this, then basically they might get some magical figure basically, you can say. And from that prepare from that magical figure basically, they can basically easily able to do the more calculation. And so like this basically more software industry will grow basically. So basically they will get the audit report that these all are the basically stuff basically we need to prepare, and we need to improve basically. Like that basically lots of stuffs are going to be improved basically, you can say. Like this you can say from formula word basically we jumped into attributes, then basically we jumped into formula, then basically we jumped into for again into attribute, then the attribute is equal to balance sheet, and then basically formula is equal to attributes plus attributes, attribute minus attributes, attributes divided by attributes. Like this basically balance sheet gets divided, balance sheet gets plus minus. Like this lots of stuff thing basically just now we have saw. So like this basically this is also little bit about the formula word, and this is basically 59th part of the formula word, and in 60th part basically we are going to see little bit more about the formula word.